We'll call to order the meeting of July 11th, 2007, and would you please join me in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May we have the roll call, please?
Chair Skay,
Here.
Vice Chair Bill de la Pena,
Here.
Director Berger,
Here.
Directors Fox and Jacobson are absent.
Okay. We don't have any public comment cards at this point. Let's just go to the consent calendar for the minutes of our March meeting. Any additions or changes?
I move approval of consent calendar.
All right. Any objection? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? No. Let's go to item 5A, which is the Open Space Advisory Committee 2007 appointments. Ms. Austin?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On March 14th, the Cosca Board directed staff to initiate the Cosca selection process. We received 11 applications and conducted interviews between April 26th and May 2nd. From this process, the subcommittee is pleased to nominate Elizabeth Brown, Mark Langton, and Nicole Tyndall as members, and Nathan Lee and Jerry Mitchum as alternates. And with the board's approval, the members and alternates will be notified of their appointments.
Okay, please let the record reflect that Mr. Jacobson has joined us. Board, is there a motion or questions of Ms. Austin? Yes.
Thank you. I was wondering about the 11 applicants. Were there any that were equestrians?
No, there weren't, actually. We had mostly hikers and a couple of people who hiked and mountain biked, but we didn't have any equestrian applicants.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'll move approval of staff recommendation.
All right. Seconded by Mr. Jacobson. Is there any discussion on the motion? Then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition or abstentions? Very good. That slate stands approved, and our congratulations to the COSTAC members and alternates. And item 5B is a resolution to approve application to the National Park Service for the Rivers and Trails and Conservation Assistance Program for technical assistance to complete the Conejo Canyons Management Plan. Ms. Austin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In 2005, the Cosca Board approved the draft open space management plan format and authorized staff to initiate preparation of the Conejo Canyons Management Plan. Staff has worked hard to gather that information to write the plan, but has not yet been able to complete the plan. Therefore, staff is requesting board approval to apply to the National Park Service Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program for technical assistance to complete this plan. The assistance included in this program would be planning, project coordination, facilitation, and public involvement. Conejo Canyons is approximately 3,100 acres in size and is one of the most unique and well-visited open space areas in Thousand Oaks. Completing this management plan will protect these natural resources while providing public access. And at this time, staff recommends that the board adopt the resolution to approve this application. And staff is available for questions.
Questions of Ms. Austin? I have one. Do we have a dollar amount in mind, or is that up to the Rivers and Trails Assistance Program?
It's actually just a program that provides staff assistance, so there isn't any money involved, but they would provide up to 320 hours within the year's worth of assistance that they'd give.
Very good. And they do wonderful work. They have had other projects in Southern California, and it would be quite a coup if we could get them. I would think we would have a very good chance based on the Cosca's record and the work that's already been done. Any other questions or a motion?
Move approval of staff recommendation.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition or abstentions? Hearing none, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. And let's go to a barbed wire fencing status report. Who gets to do that?
Thank you. I do. In response to Director Bill de la Pena's request, a barbed wire fence inventory was completed by the Cosca Rangers, and they found approximately 4 miles of barbed wire fencing in the open space, and that was located in 3 areas, including the Lang Ranch open space, Los Robles, and Dos Vientos open space areas. And the estimate is that all of it can be removed for less than $5,000. And some of the fence in the Dos Vientos area may need to be replaced with a different type of fencing, but the majority of the barbed wire fencing can just be removed and not replaced with anything because it's not along public-private property lines. And then the rangers anticipate that it can be done in the next 6 months. And I'm available for questions.
That seems like a remarkably low dollar amount. Is that because our rangers work too cheap? I mean, I'm being facetious, but is that just staff time without hiring a contractor?
The rangers work with a group who does this sort of labor for relatively inexpensive because it's also sort of an outreach program, I think, to at-risk youth and things.
That's great.
So
That does sound great. And have you looked into the cost for the Dos Vientos area since it would need to be replaced?
Oh, actually, we're not sure if that's near the equestrian center, so we need to look into whether or not that whose responsibility that would be, first of all, and then no, we haven't looked into replacement costs.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you.
All right. No other questions on this topic?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Go
Is
ahead.
it then something that will be done and then completed within the time frame you mentioned?
Yes.
Okay, and the expenditure, does that need formal approval?
No.
It must be in the
We
budget.
have
Okay.
we have it in the budget under the open
Great,
space
thank you.
improvement line item. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to the new Cosca brochure, which is lovely. Go ahead, Shelley.
Included in your packet and then also in front of you. The one in front of you is the actual. Sorry, the one in front of you is the actual brochure that will be distributed, and you'll notice on the section that says "Please help to protect our open space" that we've added a couple of additional items that were mentioned at the Cosca board meeting where we went over this brochure. So. We added don't install unauthorized gates to access open space and stay on designated trails. So staff is available for questions.
Okay. Any other questions on this?
Good.
Okay, great. It looks wonderful. I think staff did a great job on that. Let's go to our Conejo Open Space Trails Advisory Committee reports. And I bet you want to give us a report on the ragingly successful trail education days.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight and to just give you some updates about some of the projects we're doing on COSTAC.
And give your name for the record, too, if you don't mind.
Elizabeth Brown, I'm
Thank
the
you.
chair of COSTAC. We had our annual Trails Education Days in April, and all 20 of the elementary schools here in the Conejo participated. Over 1,600 fifth graders were there. And this year we had excellent weather. We didn't have to cancel due to rain, so every school got to participate. We had wonderful volunteer efforts, over 50 hike leaders, including your director, Michael Berger, who was there for 2 days and helped us out, which was wonderful. The winners of the essay contest were acknowledged at a recent city council meeting and CRPD board meeting. And something interesting, of the 5 grand prize winners, 2 are brand new residents to Thousand
Oh,
Oaks.
my.
And they were very obviously impressed by this experience in the open space and wrote very well about it, and ended up being 2 of our grand prize winners. So that's exciting. I'm going to give you a short update on our spring trail workday. We have started doing mini trail workdays in addition to the major one, which happens in October. And this one happened on Saturday, March 24th. We had about 30 volunteers who worked and finished a project that had begun in October. And it was to finish about 400 feet of trail in the Newbury Park area off of Reno Road. And it was successful. They finished it. And so we're very excited about adding that part of trail. And just so that you can mark your calendars now, our fall trail workday will be on Saturday, October 13th. In the rare event of rain, we will have it the following Saturday on the 20th. But at this point, it's on the calendar for the 13th, and it would be lovely to have a lot of people turn out for that. And the last update is just to let you know about some trailhead outreach days that we held. We had one in May at the Wildwood Trailhead and one just this past June 30th at the Lang Ranch Trailhead. We plan to hold these at least quarterly, but they've become popular, and so we're trying to do them not monthly, but at least once a quarter. We are planning 2 for the fall as well. And it's turned out to be a wonderful way to reach our trail users, people that are there asking questions about open space, handing out maps, answering questions, getting feedback. So we're really pleased about adding that as another outreach into our open space. And I thank you, and if you have any questions.
Questions of Ms. Brown. Mr. Berger.
I can't remember on the Trails Education Day. Are the local private schools also invited?
No, they are not, only the public schools.
Okay. And do the public schools help pay for that? Is that one
Yes,
of the
they do.
reasons that they're the only ones invited?
Yes. And
So-
we can only handle 1,600
Physical
students.
numbers.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And I would challenge some of my fellow service club members in this town and Rotary and that other club, Kiwanis, on these trail cleanup days. I think that would be a great community project for some of the Rotary clubs and Kiwanis clubs in this area to get involved in. It could meet some of the requirements for most clubs. So.
Thank you very much. We're also approaching the high schools as well.
Great.
A lot of young people who are doing community service. So fortunately, it's not an SAT or PSAT Saturday this year, so we're excited.
Yeah, that was a conflict. Oh, and Ms. Brown, I just wanted to say on the essays for Trails Education Days, every year I have the privilege of signing the thank you letters for all the volunteers that help with Trails Education Days. And part of what the committee does, and it's an enormous amount of work that goes into that, but they make copies of or have originals of all the thank you letters that all these kids are writing to the hike leaders, and they put a sampling in each of the thank you letters. And just going through those, it's astounding. I would say the Conejo Valley Unified School District gets a real round of applause for producing kids with such great writing skills at such a tender age. I mean, they're really impressive. In fact, I do have one copy. I made one copy of a packet to keep, so I'll pass it to the board members just to get sort of a sampling of what those letters look like. And thank you, too, to the committee for going through so much time and trouble to assemble those packets. I think it means a lot to the hike leaders to get sort of that firsthand feedback from the kids that they're serving.
Wonderful. I'll pass
Okay.
that on. Thank you.
Any other questions of Ms. Brown? Okay, thank you. Oh, we're already at board member comments and reports. Anybody have anything? Yes, Ms. Bilda Pena.
Thank you. I received in the mail a card from, I believe it was Solar something. I forget what it is. And it says that there is now the Solar Energy Act, which can be used in order to put up. That's the one, yes. That can be that open space can now be used to put solar equipment up. I am a big supporter of solar energy, but I was not aware that there is such an act, or that the city would actually allow that solar equipment, huge solar equipment, be installed in open space. Can staff elaborate on that, or perhaps find out and give us a status report on that?
I can look into it some more, but I do know, I heard recently that this act had happened, and I think what they're referring to in the card is restricted use areas on private property. So it's areas on really large lots that were restricted from removing any kind of vegetation or building any structures. And the act basically allows them to now put the solar panels on those hills. So I will look into it some more and see what we can do about it, or see what the actual requirements are. But so it's not going to be allowed on Cosca or city-owned open
So it's still
space.
privately
it's going to be on
owned.
privately owned
Okay.
open space. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bringing that to our attention. Any other comments? Mr. Jacobson.
Not a comment. However, could we routinely have reporting to us at our meetings or in whatever other manner you feel is appropriate, a status on distribution to either homeowners or action that is taken with respect to encroachment and the correction of boundaries and all other appropriate steps?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay. Hearing no other comments, this was a short meeting, and we do stand adjourned. Our next regularly scheduled meeting would be September 12th in these meeting rooms. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Elizabeth.